here? I'm not supposed to be in here.
You're joking. You don't actually want to know that, do you?
Well, you realise you're asking me to confess to teachers that are still around, right? Like, this isn't a good idea.
I'm not sure about that.
What? Oh wait, now that I think about it, yeah, there's a few.
I was like the model student. I mean, check out this prefect badge here and all my other badges.
I don't know. This could put me before the Teachers' Council. Dad will find out. Sheesh.
First one would be in the back of physics class in year 12 and 13. The latest and greatest game was Angry Birds, and I spent a lot of my time swinging back on the chairs, which I tell you guys all not to do these days, and spent far too much time on that.
So school grounds open at 8:30, and one time I showed up at 8:28. That was a bit of a nightmare.
There was this time in chemistry in year 12 with Mr. Jensen. There was some equipment that you have to look after because it's expensive. So Mr. Jensen had just said the next time someone breaks a pipette, they're paying for it. I accidentally didn't put the pipette in the right place and it kind of rolled off the bench. But Mr. Jensen didn't make me pay for it because I was a good girl.
I was a part of a group who decided that it'd be a funny thing to barricade ourselves into the classroom and keep the teacher out. And so we stacked the tables, stacked the chairs up against all of the exits, and then we hid behind the curtains, behind the couches.
Alrighty, so when I was in year 9, I left a terrible banana in my bag. This banana sat in my bag for weeks and weeks and weeks. It got to the point where this banana was brown and it was squished in between the pages of a book that I'd gotten out from the library. I was left with this predicament. What do I do with this book? I decided to try to wipe it clean with a flannel, and I just smeared all of the banana into the pages. I sniffed the book and it just smelled terrible of this old banana, so I sprayed it with my Lynx Africa and thought, okay, this will have to do. Returned it to the library and never heard anything about it again. Until the other day I was at the library and I saw it on the shelf. So if you want to go and find that book, I encourage you, go and sniff all the books in the library and you'll find out which one it was.
So I remember this one time I picked up some rubbish and put it in the bin, and then a couple of hours later realised I accidentally put it in the recycling bin. Felt terrible for the rest of the week.
So I got in trouble for not wearing my blazer to final prize giving. We were walking through the square, I think, after getting off the bus, and a seagull passed over and did its business all down my blazer, so I had to borrow somebody else's blazer, and quite clearly it wasn't mine because of all the badges that were on it. And so a teacher said, "Oi, where's your blazer? Why aren't you wearing your blazer?" And I had to explain that it had seagull muck all over it, so I couldn't wear it.
Something about year 10 and being in Mr. Staines' whānau class, we got into a bit of trouble there. One of the times we had a reliever for the whole day, we decided to have one of our pupils, our friends, act so they're from another country. I think it was Kazakhstan. Confirmed that he had no English, like he had no idea what to do the whole day, and we all played a part in that, and we got a massive telling off by the former principal, Richard Vanderpyle, for that. Got held in at lunchtime and everything.
Well, Miss Kingsley back in the day, she used to have a big PVC pipe. She'd use it to point at the whiteboard, but mainly to whack the desk and terrify small children. I decided I would steal this thing, and I balanced it in this little eyelet that hangs from the ceiling. So it was actually perfectly balanced right above her head for a good few months, and she had no idea. She was always ranting and raving, "Somebody's stolen my attitude adjuster." Eventually she found it, and I had to ask someone else to get it down. And then I stole it again and buried it in the garden. So.
There was this other time I was trying to submit an assignment, but the Wi-Fi was awful, submitted it 30 seconds late, and that still haunts me to this day.
Yeah, I still remember when I was here at school, a particular test in science. I was sitting there and I looked up at the overhead projector and the teacher was slowly writing the answers. They were multi-choice answers and I just copied them. And I think he wondered why most of the class got 100%, because most of us were doing it.
Have you guys asked Trash Boy his story?
If you guys ask Trash Boy about this, you need to go talk to Trash Boy. He's got a good story.
Okay. In my last year of high school, I wanted to be the kid that solved the littering problem. I wanted to be the kid that everyone knew cleaned up the school. There was no rubbish anywhere because of Joel. I managed to convince the leadership team to work with me for 2 weeks picking up trash every day after school. We had a roster And I basically forced them to spend an hour of their day after school just collecting trash, and then we took it all and hid it away. 2 weeks later, after this mandatory trash collecting, we dumped it all in front of the entire senior college outside. So we had this assembly where we put out this tarp and then we put all the trash into the middle and everyone was standing around. And I said to them, here's all the trash that we collected over 2 weeks. And instead of the response being, oh, that's quite a lot and I've probably contributed to that and I feel bad about it, the response was this overwhelming applause. Yeah, you guys are incredible and keep it up, that's so awesome. And I was furious. So I ranted at them for like 30 seconds about how this is wrong. Yeah, that was it. And then it was very awkward. And from that point on, particularly year 11, for the rest of the year, knew me as Trash Boy. So yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, and I guess there is that time that I printed 300 pages of A3 colour and then stuck it all up on my walls at home. Probably shouldn't have done that.